Absolute beauty. Good morning. Happy, probably Monday by the time you see this. It's actually Sunday for me and for Finn. So we're in the Nidd Gorge, which is just west of Knaresborough, near Scotton, I believe it is. Maybe even part of Scotton, I don't know if it's officially the case. It's meant to be really warm today, so we've come out early doors. We left early doors, it's now about 8 AM. There's a few people about, but still nice and quiet, quite cool. First half we're going to be through a little bit of woodland and up over the top in some more open ground. So we're trying to get the open ground out the way early so that Finn's not out in the sun for too long, but it's still a bit of a cooler time of day. It's about 5 miles we're doing today, so starting by the river. Last half of the walk is back along the bottom of the gorge with the river, so second half you'll be able to cool off and you'll be in the shelter of the trees, and we'll get the open ground out the way while it's a bit cooler still. If it sounds like I'm breathing heavily, it's because I am. We're up a fairly steep incline at the moment. It's not massive, it's only about a 200-foot climb. It's quite steep. And we should have some nice views over the rest of the gorge. And I'm carrying a dog egg, which is just making it so much nicer. Summer is in full flow now. Everything's just so luscious green, but it's also warm now. I think all this week's been 25 degrees centigrade plus, which in freedom units is about 70 something, maybe coming up to 80. But it is nice, especially at this time of day. I've been coming out earlier in the mornings and also taking Finn out later at night. Get to see some nice sunsets at this time of year when it's a bit cooler. Much above sort of 23 centigrade, you really don't want to be taking your dog out in the sun too much if they've got a thick coat like a Labrador, and if they're not used to it. I appreciate there's people in Australia, Africa, other warmer climates where dogs do just fine, but Finn's not accustomed to that. Although I'm sure he'd be happy anywhere. Look at that guy. Looking forward to letting him have a splash on the way back. He absolutely loves the water. It took him a couple of years before he properly swam. Maybe a year and a half. First time he swam. But then a couple of years before he just was willing to just dive face first into a river and swim. But he absolutely loves it now. England has some absolutely amazing countryside. I'd say some of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, for what it is, like agricultural, temperate countryside. And in summer, when the barley and the wheat and everything is really, really growing, you just get all these additional colours. And when the rapeseed or linseed, bright yellow fields appear, it just looks very beautiful. Wow, this is an effective style. Oh no, how are we going to get past this? He literally tried to go through that dog gate. What a guy. Look at this. This is just grass turning into hay, I assume. Look how beautiful it is though. I'm really lucky to live in the country I live in. So Knaresborough, for those who aren't aware, it's North Yorkshire, not too far from Harrogate, north of Leeds, not too far from Wetherby. Yeah, lots of beautiful places. Yorkshire as a whole is just probably my favourite place in the world, outside of Woodland in North Devon. But it's a beautiful county, and North Yorkshire is again a really beautiful part of it. Found a little tarmacked bit of the walk just the other side of this field I was showing you. Spend a lot of time in Yorkshire. it's good for outdoors stuff. There's lots of woodlands, there's lots of footpaths, scenery is just spectacular. Even the farmed land in England is old, a lot of it. There's like farm walls, stone walls that have been in place for hundreds and potentially thousands of years, some of them. I think there's some where there's records of walls in the same location where there are stone walls now, you know, over 1,000 years ago, and it's still just dry stone wall. And I say just dry stone wall, but it's amazing. Like it's a real art. And yeah, the walls need repairing, but you don't need to cement them. You restack the bricks or the stones, and there's your wall repaired. So for as long as the stones exist, that wall can exist. So yeah, my point is, whilst people say, oh, you know, the county's really ancient, and then other people go, well, I mean, it's farmed, so it can't be that old. Well, actually, it can be quite old, even if it's farmed. We've got a long history of farming in the country. A lot of farmers now are going down the organic or more natural cultivation route, where they use the crops to change the balances in the soil rather than spraying chemicals. The idea being that you have long-term soil health. That's nice. Yes, buddy, it's 20 miles an hour only. So you need to slow down. You'll get done for speeding. They'll send you to prison for 1,000,000 years. Officer, I found him. So whilst the country's beautiful in the summer, it's also beautiful in the autumn, the winter and the spring, for different reasons. And I think it's one of the things that being outdoors really helps with. Like if you're somebody who struggles with certain seasons, I know I used to struggle a lot more with winter than I do now, just getting out in it. You learn to appreciate the certain aspects of certain seasons and different weather. Like winter, I'm really excited about getting out and camping in the woods a lot more. You know, when it's a bit damper and colder, and have a fire without it setting fire to everything, and the fire gives a nice warmth. Can chop wood without melting to death. Winter's nice, autumn's great for mushrooms. Spring's amazing because everything's coming back to life. You've got wild garlic or ramsons, and yeah, just different times of year. You've got different stuff to appreciate. So if you do struggle with the seasons, I recommend just getting some good waterproof and warm clothing. Layers, you don't need to spend loads of money on it. Layer up if you need to, get waterproof if you need to, and just get out in it. Especially in the UK, if you let rain keep you indoors all year round, you're only going to be able to leave the house about 5 days a year. I'm looking forward to doing some more camping. I want to get Finn out camping again as well. He is doing better than he was, behaviour wise. Now as he grows up a little bit, still some bits to work on, but he's getting there. This time of year though, camping in the evenings, he'll just get eaten alive by mosquitoes and stuff. And it's not fair on him. Gardener's Arms. It says, in the sweat of thy brows shalt thou eat thy bread. Nice. Work hard, get that bread. So I'm following another bridle way at the moment. The Nidderdale Greenway, it seems to be. So it's, I believe this is also a bridle way. So cyclists and pedestrians are allowed, but not motor vehicles. Just following this along probably for about another half mile, then we're dropping back down into the Nidd Gorge, and the woodland along there is all owned Woodland Trust, I think. So we're coming up now to the Nidd Gorge Viaduct, which, as you can probably decipher, is a viaduct over the Nidd Gorge. Finn's keen. So we're going down there again. This is the eastern view. Beautiful. And this is the western aspect, no view. Finn is desperate to go the other way. Not vertigo, sorry. Looks like a water treatment plant or something up there on the hill, but it's fairly well nestled in. Beautiful. Much peril. That's steep. You can't ever see it on camera, can you? I think this is like an unofficial way down to the river. I want to get down there and let him have a little bit of a splash. I think the path does end up down there anyway. But I'd like to walk along the river. We made it after much great peril. So it's still a little bit too high for Finn to get in down here. It's a bit of a ledge. But as we follow it along, it flattens out a bit. According to the Ordnance Survey map anyway. Beautiful down here. So a lot of this woodland, I understand, was harvested or chopped down in World War II. I don't know if that was, well, I assume it's because of for the war effort. I think prisoners of war were doing it. I assume as part of the war effort, because wars tend to result in a sudden need for lots of building material, and we were still using wood for a lot of our aircraft and things in World War II. But then I believe it was replanted, a lot of it that was chopped down was replanted in the 1960s. Look at that. And a lot of that was pine up on the northern bank. I'm walking along the southern bank at the moment from west to east. But the south side of the river, as I understand it, is designated as semi-natural ancient woodland. So it's old, and that means that you'll have ancient woodland indicator species, stuff like ramsons, which seems to be the only plant I ever talk about. Wow, this looks nice. Go on in. Good boy. He's a good boy, well done. Oh, thanks, bud. That's so kind of you. Thank you. So I mentioned in the 90s, 60s I think, they started planting pine again. They're now thinning out the pine on the north bank to open the woodland up a bit, let some of the native species back a bit. And now I think I've gone the wrong way. That's a river. Yeah, so as I was saying, the Woodland Trust have been thinning out the pine a little bit to try and encourage growth of some more of the native species and the undergrowth. So the north bank is looking a bit sparse in places, but that's for good reason. It's because it's being managed. Good bridge action again. See all the layers of where that little stream has eroded over the years. So peaceful. Apart from the heavy breathing of my creepy dog and my weird ASMR whispering. So we're at the bottom of the hill where you saw me out of breath earlier walking up it, and we walked down it back into the gorge. Unfortunately that does mean we have to go back up it again. I don't know who organised that, but I shall complain to my MP. See some bricks of some kind built into a building. Not a building, it's a man-made object. I can't resist having a look, so have a quick look. It might just be a seating area. Wow, look at this. Someone's had a fire. So I like the bench. Not a huge fan of the graffiti on it or the scribbles all over it, but whatever. Some people just can't help themselves from being bellends, apparently. I'm going to sit in the chair and you'll see the view. Distant traffic noise does mean that I am not too far from the start point though. Where I parked is the Nidd Gorge, sorry no, it's the Nidd Gorge Woodland Trust car park. I got there eventually. So yeah, Nidd Gorge car park. It's a Woodland Trust car park. There's probably space for about 20 cars in there, it's not big. I got here early and there's plenty of space. If you get here before 8 o'clock in the morning you should be right. Finn's desperate to get back in the river again, but slightly steeper banks again, so that's a no from me. That's where we parked just there. So you can hear there's a few dogs around, some of whom are quite opinionated. We're not far off now. Bridge is just up ahead. Probably can't see it, but bridge is up ahead, and then I just follow the path up 100 or 200 yards and I'm back at the car park. So I think we'll probably leave it here. Just a short one, nothing too exciting. I just thought I'd share the walk with you. And if you enjoyed the video, please do like it. If you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. It really helps me out and it helps the channel become known to others. Beauty. Gonna go into the bushmoot. If you're not sure what it is, go to bushmoot.com, I think it is, or bushcraftuk.com, and then follow the links to the bushmoot. It's going to be loads of stuff going on, loads of workshops, loads of time to chill, just chill out in your tent or hammock in the woods if you want to, whatever. The winter one's fantastic, summer one I expect will be similarly fantastic, just slightly less cold. But thank you for watching, as I said, and thank you from Finn, and we'll see you again soon.